What is the weirdest thing you've heard or had happen to you while using a public restroom? Not safe for work. Someone thanking Jesus out loud after every splash. Dude prop had been constipated 4 days. I can identify with that gratitude. Someone was taking it and eating and talking on the phone. I was disgusted and impressed with the multitasking. I experienced something similar. I had a very spicy lunch at work. By the time I got off of work, in Chicago traffic, it finally hit me. I desperately got off on the nearest exit. Took an extra 30 minutes to get to an 8-minute drive to a ramp for anyone not lucky enough to experience the traffic. Basically about to hit my pants. I get to the nearest gas station. I come into the women's bathroom praying for no one to be in there since it wasn't about to be pleasant to be in the same room. Come rushing in and find a lady at the mirror. No biggie. She's about to leave, right? No. I sit down and start to do my business. It was not silent, both in sound nor smell, but I still hear her at the mirror, and there was a smacking sound, almost like her doing her mascara. No biggie. She'll get the hint and leave soon. Right. No. I continue. Still there. I finish and come out of the stall to her hunched over the sink, on her phone, while snacking on mini sausages. This bitch was full on enjoying herself while I was violently blowing up the bathroom. She acted completely unfazed, moved out of my way when I needed to wash my hands, and continued to stay in the bathroom when I left. Still on her phone, still eating in a frickin' gas station bathroom. Jesus Christ on the damned cross. That's nasty to the nth degree. Legendary. She truly did not give a frick. Not necessarily a public restroom. I worked at a financial company with over 2,000 people in one office. There are around 10 different bathrooms in the building, all with multiple stalls, urinals. Anyway, I was on my break and ran to the bathroom to relieve myself. I saw someone in one of the stalls, because feet and doors were closed. As I walk up to the urinal, I hear the guy sneeze. I say bless you like people do for some reason. Guy in the stall hits me back with, that wasn't a sneeze. I just left and went to a different bathroom. What the frick was it then? Bum chortle. I was pooping and let out a really violent fart and someone outside said bet that burned and he sounded like Larry the Cable Guy. Better get some Prilosec for that bucko. Consume Prilosec. Was pissing at a urinal and the guy next to me said don't judge me. I'm a grower not a shower. I mostly ignored him. Then he asked me if I wanted to buy some weed from him. But before I could answer, which would have been no, he said well it isn't real weed. It's fake weed. Doesn't actually get you high. It's what I smoke when I'm practicing guitar. Keep it weird, Austin. He was definitely getting high off his own supply. Or not high, I guess. Anti-high? There was hot water in the toilet. Not that I directly touched the toilet water, but the whole thing was radiating heat. Okay, so this reminds me of a story my uncle told me about one of his first experiences as an architect in Australia after moving there from Canada. He was called into a meeting with a bunch of other people, and in the meeting they got discussing the toilets in the commercial building they were designing and someone asked if they wanted to run hot water to the toilets. Why would you want to run hot water to the toilets? My uncle asked. A bunch of people looked slightly confused at my uncle's question and his new coworker answers so that people's hands don't get cold when they're washing them. Like this should be obvious. People are washing their hands in the toilet, my uncle asks. Yes. He was not aware that Australians refer to the whole room as the toilet, so they were wanting to run hot water to the bathroom so that people would have warm water to wash their hands. He got a lot of weird looks that day, and I'm sure everyone probably avoided shaking his hands. Interesting. We also, here in the UK, use the word toilet to mean bathroom. That is, I'm going to the toilet would be a perfectly normal phrase. I'm going to the toilet would be a perfectly normal phrase. It would be a totally normal phrase in Canada, too. If you were going to actually pee or poop. If you were going to wash your hands, you wouldn't say you were going to the toilet. Maybe seeing you naked made it blush? When I was younger, high school age, I had been constipated for a few days. I got the urge while I was in the mall and went to the bathroom. It was empty when I got there and was having a rough time pushing this media right out. Then I hear some people walk in. A man and a woman talking. Then they started making out. Now I was a pretty shy kid, so I tried hard not to make noise and be noticed. Next thing I know I can see through the crack in the stall that the girl is taking off her pants. I guess it escalated to the point where I was getting nervous which caused the giant that I was trying to take to rock it out. They of course noticed, and she says oh it's someone's in here then they rushed out. Nice constipated cock licking my dude huh. Au contraire. Their love was a beautiful laxative that cleansed the bowels of a man in pain. Dude, I read that in a heavy French accent. If only I had a platinum award to give. Tie for making my day. Au contraire. Zr love was a beautiful laxative that cleans the bowels of a man in pain. When I was a kid, my parents worked in a university as professors, and I would go to their offices after school until they finished work and we would go home. Importantly, the men's and women's bathrooms were right next to each other, and they had the type of ceilings which are tiles resting on a grid-type metal grid. One day, I was about 10 years old. I went to the bathroom. I was sitting on the toilet in the stall and for some reason looked up. Directly over my head, there was a guy looking down at me. He had climbed up from the men's side, removed the ceiling tiles, and was peeping at the female college students as they went to the bathroom. Apparently I was the first person that looked up. Looks up even though I'm in the privacy of my own home with a solid ceiling. Frick you. You just made me look up. I walked into a public bathroom at a beach and found a big bearded guy nervously staring at the ceiling above the stall while using the only urinal. As I stepped past him toward the stall, he screamed stop. Since his hands were full of dong, he could only gesture upward with his head. I looked up and saw a very large pigeon sitting in a nest in the corner, with a super thick Slavic dialect. Bearded guy says, "Never trust a mother bird." He washed his hands, still staring at the nest, and backed out of the bathroom. His hands were full of dong. My sister always believed in the importance of teaching her son, even from a young age, to use the correct terminology for genitalia. There was no "that's your PP" or "those are your privates." It was always "that is your peanuts." So the day before Christmas Eve we are doing some last-minute shopping. My nephew was mostly potty trained at this time, but still wore a diaper just in case. She goes off to do some shopping and I take him to the washroom for a change as he has had an accident. As I'm wiping him clean, he screams bloody murder in a washroom full of people and "he don't touch my peanuts." I was freaking mortified, worrying that people are thinking I'm molesting him. So I say loudly, yet kindly, "We have to make sure you're clean." I've never been so embarrassed in my life walking out of that stall. And to top it off, I was like 19, but definitely looked younger. My 3-year-old nephew had an accident last week when I was over. His dad was cleaning him up and he blurted out, "Don't look at my PP and name." I wasn't looking anyway, but I'm glad it was just my brother around. Not 2 minutes later he pulled down his pants and said, "Look at my bum." Such an odd child. I think it's safe to say that all children are at least a bit odd. Nah, twins and quadruplets are even. I cringed so hard at this. I feel so bad for you. I was out drinking one evening. Went to go to the bathroom and there were 3 ladies blocking the guy's bathroom. They told me I couldn't go in. It was the only bathroom in the place and I had to piss bad. I waited about 20 seconds and pushed past them. As I walk in, there is one dude at the end of the line of urinals with his dong out, not facing a urinal. He's giving it a pep talk saying things like, "Come on bud, you can do it and don't let me down again." I take quite a long piss and he keeps talking to his dong the entire time. I exited the restroom and told my buddy what happened. He had to see it for himself, so he went to the restroom. Same girls outside trying to stop him and same dude and they're still trying to sweet talk his wang into doing something. Sitting on the toilet in a Denny's bathroom. The large plastic toilet paper holder was just missing the cover, so when I pulled on the toilet paper roll it fell off and rolled perfectly under the stall wall and fell over right behind the feet of a man standing at the urinal next door. The man must have seen it, because I instantly hear him say, "Oh, I got it. Thanks," I said, expecting him to finish his business then help me out. What I did not expect was for him to bend down to pick it up right then and there, but not how one normally bends down. I can guarantee he was midstream when he leaned over backwards like freaking Neo in the Matrix. I see his legs bend forward, then see his hand reaching down behind him. He bends over far enough to grab the roll, stream still going. It was a urinal with water in the base so I could hear it. He grabs it and perfectly rolls it back over to me. Gives a thumbs up, then stands straight up again. Unfreaking real. Some say he's the toilet roll fairy, only appears once in a blue moon in the most dire of situations. The visuals I had when reading this story was hilarious. What a freaking legend, honestly. I went into a Target to take a pee. After relieving myself, it was a photo finish. I turned to wash my hands. In the sink, there was a goldfish in a plastic bag. Now, Target doesn't sell fish, so it was kinda odd to say the least. I could tell there was a person in one of the stalls, concerned that this goldfish had been abandoned. I nervously asked the dude in the stall if this was his fish in the sink. A deep-ass voice boomed back at me. What? I repeated my question. Is this your fish in the sink? There was a long pause, as if the target pooper was trying to understand my question. He finally replied, "Nah, man, that ain't my fish." So I took it home. Had to buy a whole setup, tank and filter, etc. And that's the story of how I rescued a goldfish from the Target bathroom. Same thing happened to me about a year ago, except I found my fish at a bus stop all by himself on my way home from work. Got the whole setup too and is still kicking it here to this day. Now I want a subreddit for fish acquired in this way. So wholesome. You are a good man. This is both a hilarious and wholesome story. Did the fish enjoy his new home? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button and leave a comment which story you liked the most. Subscribe and hit the bell notification for updates on our latest videos. And don't forget to check the links in the description box for more awesome content.